Greetings, my name is Ariel Flood Advisor and I am playing Civilization V Brave New World. As you can see, I'm playing as Assyria, one of the new races. They have an interesting, unique ability where you can gain technologies you don't know yet when you take over enemy cities. Now, it must be a takeover, you can't just trade for the city and buy it. You also get an interesting library change, which gives it a great work slot for writing. And they have a unique unit, which is a siege tower, which makes early game warfare very nice. But chances are, knowing me, I'm going to completely skip the early game warfare and just do what I normally do, which is like try to get muskets as quickly as I can. Now, continent type is fractals, and the gift difficulty is prince. You can see there's 8 civs. I kept the amount of city-states the same. I'm just going to chat, talk a little bit about what I'm doing. Please do not take what I'm doing as sound strategy. I'm just kind of mucking about, having fun. Though, if you want to copy what I do, I can't exactly stop you. And I'm still also learning this a little bit. The expansion, brand new at this point. It's like the week it came out. And while I have already played Assyria in a multiplayer game, that ended pretty well. Like, there's still a lot of things I need to learn. Like, in the multiplayer game, I had the unfortunate happenstance I ended up on a continent by myself. This is usually good, but considering Assyria's main ability, like taking over cities for technology, it kind of set me back early game a little bit. As you can see, some new names for the city-states, because some of the city-states got promoted and turned to civilizations. Some of the city-states stayed a city-state and got promoted anyway to civilization. Venice, looking at you. To be fair, they're pretty interesting. They could take over, they could still puppet stuff. They could buy out city-states and puppet them. It's pretty great. Other civs I've tried out so far, Shoshone. They're pretty interesting. Early game, very nice scouting advantage. They can choose which things they get from ancient ruins with their unique unit, the Pathfinder. Brazil, which is pretty neat, because they get their carnival, which makes them like a really powerful tourism generator. There's Reading, there's the Royal Library, which is the Assyria thing. And I played around with Morocco a little bit too, because they have like very defensive desert tile improvement they can make. And they also, what was it? Oh yeah, they have like crazy good trade routes too. Venice also has good trade routes, but Morocco, since they can expand and they get a couple other nice bonuses too, pretty crazy, pretty good. Pretty crazy good. Now, I'm trying to scout. I usually like to try to scout in like a roughly spiral formation from my main cities, mostly so I can spot possible expansion sites right off the bat, and also possible neighbors. Like, that looks like Japan over there. Pretty sure that's Japan. And they're not a fun one to be around either, so I'll probably call them my first target. What do you think? First target's Japan? Yeah. Wait. Yep. Hello. We're not going to get along. Not at all. No. Gonna keep looking around. Oh boy. I like archers. Archers are great. Ideally, you would have a upgraded scout. A scout that's upgraded with survivalism. Take that, because that's a scout only upgrade, I think. And it makes, if you could keep that archer around, makes it really powerful, because then you can have like a Gatling gun with the +1 survivalism. Makes it really hard to kill. It's pretty cool. But that's fine too, getting it right off the bat really early like that, especially considering I'm going to need to clean house with it eventually. Pretty good. Okay, doesn't seem like there's much north of Japan there. I still like the Liberty Tree. Piety being a starting culture trait is pretty interesting too. I can't think of many situations would be useful, but it's an interesting touch. I generally stick with Liberty anyway, unless I know I'm going to be going for a very early military start for sure, like I'm playing as like the Zulu or the Aztecs, where it's a major thing. Often I'll start out with Liberty and end up mixing Liberty and Honor together, depending on how badly I want the free grade person from Liberty. And yeah, it can be pretty useful sometimes. And Gonna go for that other scout. Since I have the one scout turned into an archer, I'll definitely want to keep that near my cities. Hello, another new city-state name, right there. I'm exploring along the coast here, trying to get a feel of how big this continent is. So far, it looks pretty much like a decent size. There's probably another Civ on here somewhere. Maybe. If it's just me in Japan, that would be hilarious. And, well, not really that hilarious, but it would be pretty awesome, actually. Because I could still take him out, I'll get his tech bonuses, and I get the this little island to myself sort of thing. Which is a great defensive bonus. Because the AI is still kind of... It's still kind of bad at naval warfare. It's still pretty bad at warfare in general. Even on the higher difficulties, it's mostly tougher because it's got way more units to throw at you. Here's my other scout. Gonna get that great library. The great library, still nice, wonder to grab right away. But it's even better now because it's got those 2 great writing slots. So it's also useful for tourism, an early tourism boost, and not just a really early tech boost it gives. Come on. There we go. And I'm going to use this archer to take out this camp up here because I found that one first. Don't really like it that much. It's kind of in the way. And it definitely looks like it's just me and Japan on this island. This is going to be fun. Oh, Japan. You're a pretty cool country. I'm sorry, but it's business, you know? I want your land. Well, what do they even have? They have sugar and gems. Okay, and I have dyes and ivory. Weird combinations. I guess people like variety. Variety is nice. Yeah. Yeah, variety is nice. Melbourne, that's another new name. Brussels, that's an old name, so there's like one old one still here. I will be taking out camps shortly. It occurred to me that I probably won't even have to be the one that declares war in Japan. They'll just attack me first. Because they tend to be like that. They're not very friendly. Not a very friendly bunch. Alright. So, this is my land. It's not my land yet, but I'm calling it my land because it soon will be my land. Wait. That's probably the Rock of Gibraltar there. I just haven't seen it yet. Seen it properly, anyway. You'll notice I do like to do my scouting manually until pretty much at this point in the game. I'm just going to set my current scout on automatic anyway. Just try to get around the shores a little bit. I'm not as... and I didn't find that quite as important as... like finding everything else that's on the mainland. The shores, like, yeah, they've got some nice stuff, but I'm also pretty sure it's like I know what's going on there. Doing turns is still a bit slow, but they've definitely streamlined a lot of the processes behind this since definitely since vanilla game and since Gods and Kings. Multiplayer is generally more stable too, I've noticed, which is a very, very nice change of pace. And they've even added a new system called Pit Boss, which I'm not quite sure how it works. I guess it's more like for a much slower, much more casual game where people can like literally like come by, do a turn, then walk away. Like these things would take probably take days. But I guess some people would be into that if they're in for like a really casual game. Gotta get these horses. And here we go. Religion. Let's go with that. That boost doesn't last very long, but I can't really think of anything else that's particularly nice at this moment in time. I don't have any areas that I can say like, yeah, I got desert, definitely going to get the folklore, but there's like 2 things of deserts there. It's not really worth it. Oh, you cheeky jerk. Cheeky, cheeky. Well, I know which city I'm taking over first. Let's see, where can I can still expand here, that's pretty good. See, I'll probably do it up a bit more so I get the jungle tiles. Wait. Yeah, no, I'd have to do it down a bit because the city-state's in the way. Righto, let's see. Let's get mining. Wait, do I have... No. I want to do calendar first, because calendar will lock the National Library. And segging directly from the Great Library into the National Library is a pretty good way to get a very big tech boost right from the get-go. Barbarians are being messy, as usual. They can't build civilization that stands the test of time, so they're of course very angry about this. They want to take it out on everyone. Oh, hello. Speaking of take it out on everyone, they're about to attack my capital here. Oh dear. Let's kill the archer. I'm at least keeping them busy. This makes me happy. That current citizen arrangement seems to be in order too. I like the early production from like all this stuff, especially this. Let's heal it. I'm not expecting it to last for very long, and I just want the barbarians gone. Not that it matters for me so much, it'll be bothering Japan, but I will want that city very soon. Something that will dictate how I handle the upcoming wars if I can find iron nearby. Iron is particularly interesting because they bumped up the reveal to bronze working, which we can't see yet. But it's in bronze working now. And this is incredibly handy if you are somebody that really takes a lot of time deliberating on what their early strategy will be tech-wise. Now if you always get bronze working for a spearman at least. Now, at least along with that, you'll see if you have iron and whether or not it's even worth bothering to tech into swordsmen and longswordsmen right away. That's something I usually end up doing anyway after I get education because, well, not much more to research at that point. And those techs lead to gunmen, or what's it called? Gunpowder. Musketmen. And that, definitely can't complain about that. It's really handy. Really powerful against cities, and they don't require iron, so it's pretty much a really nice, cheap infantry unit right off the bat. Bunker you up. Now let's see what's going on down south of my city here. Aha! And it's a city-state quest. Cool. And, mining time. You jerk. You didn't even place it along the river like a smart person. Oh, that's getting raised. While I'm thinking of it, you'll notice this here. That is a major change. It's a subtle one, but you definitely have to keep that in mind if you like a tech empire. Expanding like crazy, not necessarily the best choice, and puppeting everything like crazy, just leaving it puppeted, not necessarily the best choice. Also, along that note, they really revamped how happiness works. It gets really brutal now, actually, compared to Gods and Kings in the vanilla game. Even just normal orange phase unhappiness, your units will start to lose effectiveness and your cities, along with the population growth stunting. It will also stunt your production. And then at 10, that's when the rebels start appearing now. They appear at 10, very early by comparison. And at 20, that's when cities start flipping over to other empires that they like more. That depends on stuff like ideology and tourism. So, stuff from the previous Civ games, yeah, that's in now. You can flip territory in cities, but it requires a lot more conditions to do so, I believe. This is actually the first Civ game I've ever played. I'm familiar with how the other ones work in comparison to this one. I know that's a feature like a lot of people were mentioning, like the whole culture flipping of borders thing. It's kind of in this now. It's a bit different, but it's here. Alright, National College and Warrior. Need to beef up my army a little bit so I look less like an easy target.